This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. Flush to his right. Man open, here is Jones. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Packers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him. And that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to finish this one.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Christian Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Fields. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well. Again, it's Jones. Oh, nice move. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers.
Aaron Jones, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Oh, this is blocked. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Fields throw there, complete to Mooney.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a 1st down. First carry now for David Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Six yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Fields.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will hold pat at 13.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely at midfield. Escaping the pressure right. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Doubs made the day 3 of the draft, and Green Bay loves the dimension he brings to their group of receivers, and that's speed. The head coach really wanted someone who could take the top off of a defense in the draft, and they got him in Romeo Doubs out of Nevada. You can easily see him getting steadily more and more targets as the week.
Touchdown! Aaron Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the route is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. Completed out left to Dobbs. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And that one results in 35 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers are able to add on to their first-half lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out.
They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in by Pringle.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Bears going to call the... First of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Packers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Touchdown, Packers! Bo Melton, 47 yards. And the Packers extend their lead yet again. Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 76 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And now they'll take a knee here. And my partner now is speechless, and so am I.
Hey, we got 3 down. Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike 21. They gonna need some therapy after this.
And down to a knee. Well, that's one option. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And a curious play call here, to say the least. Thought it might be a trick, but no, he actually goes down to a knee. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Rodgers now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense because they've been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick 6.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Fields now to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And this incomplete. An excellent play downfield on the football. Might have had a shot to pick it off even.
but it's second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, Rodgers. He's going to let it go again. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. From the 50, here's Fields. Throwing for Montgomery. He's got him on the out route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Fields. Flushed out right. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Fields tapping it forward. Jet sweep. And they'll go backwards here. Losing yardage to the 14. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. And it's caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles. And that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Odell Beckham. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
Here's Rodgers.
This pass complete to Melton.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Dancing to his left.
Another catch from Melton.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter.
Rodgers to throw once more. That's going to be caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers.
And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
Second and 16.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed.
Fields hit, and the ball is loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
The Bears on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 37 yards. Play action. It's Fields. Flush to his right. He gets it complete to Jackson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Odell Beckham with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Fields trying to throw for it. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. Trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 42 yards. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Fields. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there,
It turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. I got one. Mike 20, Mike 20.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
On the move to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap. Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Now Fields.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
4th down. Fields has to have this one.
Forced out to his left. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Rodgers throwing here.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown out a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Here's Fields.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Fields hit and the ball is loose.
And the Packers pick it up. Look at the big man rumble. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
The partner under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Packers, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.